Good morning, traders. Let's hop into some analysis this morning. We got a lot going on. The Feds are going to be announcing a rate hike of some point, of some sort. What I've heard is a 1 point rate hike. Other people I've talked to are saying more than a 1 point rate hike. But now we have monkeypox declared as a national emergency by the World Health Organization. And if you did not know this, America, along with 140 plus other countries, signed their sovereignty over 2 months ago to the World Health Organization. And you can go and look all this up right on the World Health Organization website. Now, with them declaring that a national emergency, I am not sure what the Feds are going to come out with. I was pretty sure it was going to be a 1 point rate hike, which, as we're seeing, if that's the case, is not good for the market. Of course, the NQ has been crashing for the entire year and is continuing to crash. We are coming down to support area around 1,200. Really, it should be about, or not 1,200, 12,000. But if they come out with a 1 point rate hike or higher, that's more than likely going to drop the market even more. It's causing a pullback in cryptos. It's causing a pullback in gold and silver. It's across every single market. So that is definitely an issue. But as I said, with the monkeypox things, maybe they come out and they don't go with the 1 point rate hike. Maybe they go higher, maybe they go lower, but the meeting is today and tomorrow. So if they end the meeting early, we could hear this today. They end the meeting tomorrow, then we'll hear it tomorrow. But the thing is, it could come at any time. So I am not taking any trades in this market right now until the Feds make this announcement. This is going to be one of the biggest announcements of this year from the Federal Reserve for a rate hike. It is going to make a difference. So we can see clearly on the 1 hour, big head and shoulders on the NQ right here. This is since Tuesday that it's formed this head and shoulders, coming down to that 12.1, and probably will give up there. Looking at the overall daily chart, we are looking, doing the same thing, making lower highs and lower lows, which is what I've been trying to point out. You know, lower highs, lower lows usually means you're going lower. But if you have any stocks you want me to take a look at, any that you want me to analyze, we're going to go through right now and check out everything that's moving. After that, we'll get into the news and see what's happening with earnings and all of that, the real estate market. And then later on, towards the end of the stream, we'll go into maybe a little lesson or more talk about the economic side of all the markets. So let's figure out what is happening today, what trades could be showing themselves. So we got INDO, which I already know, SIGA, GovX, all of those stocks, they're monkeypox stocks, trying to come out with monkeypox vaccines. SIGA is not actually on my list, so let's put SIGA on there right now. I took it off for the time being last week. Yeah, beautiful. I mean, HH called SIGA back here when it was, in the $3 range. It's been just going up and up and up. And now that monkeypox is declared a global health emergency, and it's popping some more up to a 7-11. But we've been talking about this stock for weeks and weeks, and now it's popping pretty strong. Now, where could it go from here? That's the question, because looking at the daily chart in the whole year, it's never been this high. So we got to go into a higher time frame. Let's go into the monthly chart. We look at the monthly chart back in 2010. There was a spike up to 1375. So there's definitely going to be some type of, well, actually, it's not just a resistance line, it's a support and resistance zone. So we need to draw it as a actual channel, because it's about, from the tops of those candles are about at 1350, and then the wicks, are a little higher, but we're going to go up to the next whole number. 15 we know is a strong area, always on any stock, and you can see that is where we've broken out this month. Now let's go back into the daily chart and see what we're looking like. Yeah, so it is held up. As long as it can hold above 15, it could continue to run. Today, however, it's really hard to say. Because if the media starts getting a hold of the monkeypox thing, which so far I'm not really seeing much in the media about, if they get wind of it and they start pushing it like they did COVID, if you traded during that time, if you're in the live streams during that time in 2020, during the whole beginning of the COVID start and all of that, there was a lot of big ripping vaccine stocks, and SIGIT has the potential to get up there if this is as crazy as they're making it sound like it is. Only 72 million in shares, but the other ones that are following it, GovX, whatever else. Hal's talking about TTMP, which I'm not sure on TTMP. I like GovX better. We can see, though, GovX, huge gap up. That was on Friday, or is this Monday? Oh, it gapped up on Monday, and then it's been ripping straight up since. Problem is, go ahead and remove that. We're running right into that 200-day as resistance. Previous resistance through here as well, 250. So we draw that line. We got some levels of resistance to get through. Actually, you can even draw it at 225, so it's a zone, not just a line. It's a zone with the 200-day moving average sitting there. Let's go back to a month chart, see if we got any previous something. Boy, look at that. When did I trade GovX right there? Took a loss on GovX back in, what is that, 2021? Got it at 360, sold at 334. I don't know what happened there, but probably something dumb. But yeah, we can't really look at anything on that chart to get any type of, okay, right there maybe. Well, that's way up there. Yeah, they've done reverse splits and all that, so the month chart's not going to help us any. But we do have a lot of resistance that it's going to take some time probably to break through. Maybe not like a few days or anything. This is a low float stock with the monkeypox heat. So I just don't expect it to break through all of this the first try. I'd want to see it try a couple of times and not just shoot straight through it. If it shoots straight through it, then it's more likely going to pull back, especially with that 200 there. But, at this point, if you're buying any of these, you're kind of buying at the top, so you need some type of pullback. Let's see. What's up, Felix Cruz? How's it going? How's is it going? SB, what's up, my friend? Donnell, you're long on GVX and $1.87. Well, you are absolutely killing it. Congratulations, my friend. Good job. Daniel B in One Life. You guys, what do I think of BTU gas stock? Let me take a look at it. If it's natural gas, then I would want to look at the natural gas charts. BTU, oh yeah, this is Peabody. Wait, what? Peabody Energy, do they do natural gas? Or is that coal? Well, normally if there's coal in the area, there is natural gas. That's like the entire state of Virginia. Let me check real quick. Let me pull up Peabody, because I don't know if they're just doing natural gas or coal. That makes a difference. Peabody Energy. Coal mining energy company in Missouri. Yeah, they're a coal company, so they're not a natural gas company. Yeah, it's a pure coal company. So the natural gas charts in this case will not really matter. We'll have to look at the coal charts. And actually, I've been keeping an eye on coal. It's in this down channel, but it did have this nice inverse head and shoulders over the last 2 months, and then pushed up right there to the top of the channel. So coal could break out. If it it could be, this could have been a smaller inverse, and then this overall picture here could be a big inverse head and shoulders, right? Because this would be a shoulder and then head and then a possible another shoulder. But it does look like we're going to see that push. And the reason being that coal is going bullish, let me actually write this on here, is because Europe decided to, put the sanctions on Russia for the oil, and that's caused the Russia or Europe to be very low on oil. They get a lot of their oil from Russia. They also get their natural gas from Russia. So natural gas has went through the roof. Russia is being sanctioned. They're not buying their oil, so that leaves Europe with coal as the only energy source to be able to keep their their cities going, their electricity going. So Europe has to start buying coal if they don't figure out something else, and they don't got the money, or nor would they try, I don't think, to do nuclear reactor energy, which is what they should do. But hey. But yeah, I mean, if Europe keeps going the way they're going, then you're just going to have buying pressure on coal and coal stocks because they're going to be buying coal. So it's got a nice uptrend there. This is a Fortune 500 company, so it's not like you're really worried about it going to zero necessarily. They used to pay out a couple of dividends, but that was when they were up in that 45, 40 area range. And they're starting to approach that range again, so we may start seeing dividends come out if they're becoming profitable. We do have a ton of resistance right across here, $25. That right there is holding up real strong. You see over the past 4 months where 4 months where we've been rejected off of that previous $25 area that was a support and resistance area somewhat when this thing looks like it IPO'd in July. So it's trying to, push up there, but it's gotta break that. And it could break that. The only problem is you got this resistance, this downtrend here that it's been rejected at. So it's going to need to push up through. It's going to need to push up through 25. It's going to need to push up through that other area, and it's going to have to get up and break that downtrend of 32 before this goes bullish. A lot of resistance though at the 25, but that's a good thing. It's all together, and it has been testing. So pretty much, let's go into the daily chart and let's see what we're looking like on the daily here. Yeah. Well, you got a nice uptrend that has been confirmed here. 200-day, it had a bounce off. You got your uptrend from there to there. You do have a downtrend as well. So a lot of indecision. Could be a possible bounce spot for this, but with the point rate hike or whatever, if the Nasdaq starts crashing even harder, which it's still crashing so far, down to 12.1. What do we get down to? 12.15. Then that will pull back everything. It won't matter. Now Peabody could rebound pretty quick after a big crash, but kind of sketchy. Now if you're looking at it on the short side, you're at that 25 resistance area. If it doesn't break on that first test, then yeah, you might get a good short position on it back down to 20. That's a possibility. All right, let's see what else we got. What's up, GD? Good morning, or good evening, Lori, I should say. I bet you have plenty of coal, Daniel B. Probably a coal fiend. All right, anyway, let's see what else is going on here. How's GovX doing? Yeah, GovX still running, smacking right into that resistance at the moment. It's had good volume. See what is it? Yeah, 84 million in volume so far. Very low float. Only 12 million in shares outstanding. Meh. It just needs a pullback. Like, I wouldn't trade this myself unless it gets rejected off a 2, comes back down maybe to this 175 area right here, where it held up as support through this congestion. But yeah, I don't know. It's very rare, and you can see too on the daily on GovX. It tried to break the 200-day here. Now it did get a nice gap up and didn't get a nice pop on one day, but it failed to hold the 200 again right here. Hit the 200, failed to hold it, continued to crash again right here recently in May. Hit the 200, failed again, and crashed. So I would expect, this not to break this first time, and that's what we're seeing so far. But it is really early in the day, so a lot could transpire before then. Looks like they got second quarter, so Q2 financial results tomorrow. That's interesting. That makes this play even crazier. So it's got the monkeypox effects, or the monkeypox thing going on with it, and then it's got earnings coming out tomorrow. And there's definitely been a lot of buying, but monkeypox just now become a global health emergency. How much money were they making before that? Let's go find out. Let's pull them up on TradingView. Because they're going to be reporting earnings from the last 3 months. So if they haven't been earning anything, their earnings are going to be terrible, which is going to leave people. I mean, yeah, I can already tell their financials are trash just by looking at the overview. Look at that net income. Yeah, the revenue was 385 in 2021. They had less revenue than the year before, but their net income increased a whole lot. Negative 18 million to the downside. Negative 5,000 profit margin. Now their balance sheet here does look pretty good in 2021 with 11 million and 7 million. It's a bit higher on the debt to assets than I would like. I always like it under about 30%, so they're about double. But you can see there was and has been some actual total asset growth. However, we don't know if these assets are debt or not, so that's what we got to figure out. Let's see, their estimated earnings. They hit the last 2 earnings, which there wasn't any surprise, but negative earnings those last 2 years on the annual. Let's see the quarterly. Wow, this one they were way off. That was March. Yeah, that was March of this year. And they missed earnings for the Q4 of 21 by quite a bit. Now, they were closer in Q1. So we'll see if they're above it in Q2 or not. Now, if they're above it, that could mean, even more volume in the GovX. But I hate earnings. Let's see. Total assets. So there's that 11 million. But let's see their low liabilities. So the total liabilities has went up. It's went from 126K to 5 million. So those liabilities, even though they've got assets, these assets are more than likely debt assets. See other current liabilities, something in 100K. Total debt. Weird, it shows in 2021 they had no debt. That didn't look right. Their net debt was 11 million. What kind of nonsense are they doing with their... See this cash flow. Yeah, so cash flow from operating activities negative 13 million. Cash from investing activities 109K. Cash from financing, right there it is, 9 million. So they've got 10 million in assets, but they got cash from financing. They got 9 million from cash. So 9 million of their assets is in debt. You know, this is a trash penny stock company. Now, they could rip, of course, off momentum and all that. We see that in the trash can all the time. But with those earnings, I don't see why they would come out good. So this play is a whole mess of chaos waiting to happen. It could, you know, if they come out with good earnings, maybe it rips harder. But we've seen stocks that come out with good earnings crash. We've seen stocks that come out with bad earnings rip. So who knows? But that is definitely interesting because this is on the HH's watch list and my watch list because it is a monkeypox play. But that definitely throws a weird wrench in there for sure. Let's see here. BBA. Well, we're not pumping anything. There's no pumping around here. Unless it's me and your mom. We don't do pump and dumps. We don't. I don't know. That was rude. I'm sorry. But no, we're not pumping. Not pumping nothing. No, look at this garbage. Why would I pump this? This thing is a trash bag. This thing has literally been a garbage can for a while. It had a little run at the beginning of the year, but it's gave everything back. So whatever this BigBear.ai. Alright, I'm interested because of their name. This fellow wants us to pump BigBear.ai. You know what song that reminds me of? If you ever seen Super Troopers? Big Bear, down there, old Big Bear. That's what. Oh my God! Oh jeez, they have an actual very big bear right on the front page. See clearly, predict accurately, act confidently. Okay, well, they're on point on this. In the rapidly changing world of flawed information and risky blind spots. All right, but then they're saying their reliable guidance expands your field of vision. AI-powered analytics. Okay, I'm listening with your big bear. You know your business, but you know, okay, blah, blah, blah. Technology, what are you doing now? I want to see your actually technology. This is I could make this website in 5 seconds. Yeah, you're telling me a whole lot of stuff. Oh, look at there. GE is... Big Bear AI has accelerated the time it takes us to create a critical mass of support for changes to complicate business. This single fact has provided $1 million in bottom line of benefits. Now, I don't follow GE that close, but I'm pretty certain they're in the negative. And I personally, if I was Big Bear, I wouldn't want GE... Anyway, all right. I want to actually see what you have. Let's go. Okay. Again. All right. Let me go to this investor presentation. A leader in decision dominance. For more than 20 years. They've been a leader in decision dominance for more than 20 years, and their stock chart looks like this. There's the month chart. They've only been on the Nasdaq since April of 2021. Yeah, you're going to have to give me a good case of why to pump this or why to even look at this anymore, because I'm not seeing anything whatsoever except for a bunch of air, a bunch of talking. A bunch of blowing smoke. Just this line right here really makes me feel weird. A leader in decision dominance. That sounds something kind of dirty. Kind of dirty. If you know where I'm going, Stocks and Chomps, I don't know if you're in here or not, but that sounds like it should have been your name in high school. Okay. All right. Let's see. This was Q. This was their latest annual filing. Let's look at it. Company overview. Guiding our customers to realize their best possible future. That does not help. Okay. Transformative technology. You're a leader in use of AI learning and machine learning. Wait, what do you mean you're a leader? You're definitely not a leader. You're not a leader. There's no way. There's way bigger AI companies that have actual AI robots walking around. So they're definitely not a leader in AI. That's a lie. They lied straight up. Yeah, I'm not looking at this anymore. Within 5 seconds, they're blowing smoke in their 10K. Screw Big Bear. Big Bear. Yeah, they might win life. That's what I'm saying. I don't know, man. That leader in decision dominance. That's kind of a scary thought. I don't. Oh boy. Yeah, man. Sorry. I can't. Yeah. No. Just no. Just no. That's all I got for you on that one. All right, let's look at this top 10% Nasdaq gainer list. See MOTS. We go back into a daily chart here. That doesn't even make sense. It says it's up 18,000%, but looks like it's down quite a bit. See, no 18,000%. Sundial. What is going on here? What is happening? You guys seeing this? Am I tripping balls here? Can you see that? Yeah, you can see this right above my head. Sundial is up 753%, but then it's showing us down on my chart. Okay, this one makes more sense. 133%. This had a gap up in pre-market. Ran from $1.53 to about $2.42. But why? Let's see. Oh, I know. I can tell you why Walmart's trading so high, because that's where there's hardly any grocery stores or anything left. Walmart. So this is something I've noticed. Next time you go to the store, look at the bread. This is the first example that you'll see of this. If you look at the bread, whether it's a Kroger store or you go to Target or whatever, the bread that is Kroger brand or Target bread is extremely cheaper right now than any of the other brands. Inflation is high. They shouldn't be able to do that, but they are, because they are monopolized companies. Walmart, Kroger, those type of brands. There's really not too many I think there's not a lot of other ones that are public. Dollar General's public, but they're not a monopoly yet. They're working on it. They're popping out Dollar Generals like, rabbits. But they're squeezing out their competition of these other brands, right? When you have their product of bread sitting on the shelf, and then you have your product, and you've got it almost 3/4 cheaper, and there's no possible way that competition can get it that low. And then if you actually look at the bread, it's actually kind of better for you than the leading brand names of bread. But Kroger's can do that because they have a lot of money. So they're squeezing out competition, and it's not just bread. Anytime you go in the store, you'll see what I'm talking about. Look at it. Look at all the new stuff. Like Target has Market Pantry, that is their brand. And they got some banging queso, actually. And that queso is cheaper than all the other queso. So, in the worst possible economic times right now, these grocery stores are killing the competition. They're monopolizing further. Walmart, that's why with the country locked down for a whole year, you could only shop at Walmart too. So Walmart made so much money in 2020. And then, so many businesses went out of business. Walmart's just still making money. Walmart, Target, they're just going to be the go-to places besides people ordering off of Amazon. Siga trying to press up to that 1711. Just popped over that. a new high. Very nice. It means GovX should start pushing a little bit. But again, SIGA, you know, doesn't have that resistance till 25 really. Whereas GovX is kind of running into its main resistance zone. FRGT. What was that one I was looking at? Oh yeah, this is it. It's a pharmaceutical company, 63 million. There's no news on it other than they filed a request for a withdrawal of a registration statement on Form S1. We could go and look and see what that form was about, but nobody really cares. Apparently there was some buying because of that, but it's not great news. It does have room, looks like, though, up to like 350 maybe. But again, the news is pretty trash. There's no reason for it. Okay. So we definitely had some pullbacks in all the markets, as I was saying at the beginning. You see oil has pulled back, still struggling to break back above 100. Do have a bit of a inverse head and shoulders here over this last couple of weeks. Head, shoulder, shoulder. And you can see that downtrend is sitting right on top of the head. The 10-day moving average sitting right on top of the head. The 50-day sitting above it at 105. So there's a lot of resistance that oil's got to get through. But it looks like we may see it pull back some more here. Possibly down for a recheck of this 93 area. Maybe just 95. You can actually take this channel out. That channel's been gone for a while. But it is right on that 200. And then you look back here, same thing. It did this. It hung out around that 200 for a while, dropped below it, pushed above it, dropped below it, before it started making another move up. Let's see. Yeah, see right here, Putin's gas game toy with Europe's supply. That's what I was talking about earlier. They screwed up putting sanctions. If you are energy reliant on a company or a country, you don't put sanctions on them, because then they're just going to yank your energy. And now you that's how dumb the European leaders are. That's why I say they're whatever they call it, the union is going to be the first of the economy falls, because of their leaders are just, their heads are so far up their sphincters. You know, they constantly are analyzing what they ate 2 weeks ago. Yeah, we'll get in this news in a little bit. There's obviously a ton of news headlines. You like it better with the green screen, where I don't have my background just like this? It's just me, where I can move freely in the picture. I still can't, like, if I put my arms all the way up, it's going to cut out. But as long as I stay in my little box, yeah, see, I can dance. You know, there's no thing behind me I got to worry about. It's all good. So if you guys like this better, this is how I used to do it a while back. Like 2 years ago on YouTube, and then I stopped, but I think I'm going to go back to it because I like it myself. It just looks better. But anyway, let's see where we're at here. GovX trying to come back for a test of that 220. Now again, speaking of Walmart and all that being, you know, what they are, this Fed rate hike could easily affect them just as bad. Let's check this market watch. Yeah, we got a mixed market, even though the Nasdaq is really eating it. I mean, we went down, let's see, what are we down? 1.3% since open. Going straight down. There's that PR. I want to read. Okay. So I'm going to take a quick little break here. And when I get back, we'll hop into some of this PR. And again, if there's any stocks you want me to analyze or anything like that, just throw them in the chat there. Give me a couple of minutes, and I'll be right back. All right, let's get into some of this NQ news, see what the hell's going on. So we got okay, Biden's doing something. High prices for gas and other essentials are helping to keep the president. Yeah, it's his approval rating's low, not because he disappears in the bushes or can't talk. It's mainly because gas prices. I mean, that's a big reason why, but still, I would put that in there too. Anyway, let's see. They made an effort to estimate. Oh, wow. They made an effort to estimate. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. I can't believe they took that much effort. How much releases from oil reserves have helped rein in gas? What? Is anybody under $4 a gallon of gas anywhere in America right now in this chat? It's like still like 4.30 something like that here in Wisconsin. Okay. As Americans frustrated with raging inflation. Yeah, it is definitely raging. You know, there's somebody who said that, you know, in the last couple of years we were going to see crazy inflation. And I don't know who it was, but, you know, if somebody could find that person, I'd sure like to follow his channel. The White House said in a statement that the Treasury Department reckons that we are talking about the United States Treasury Department. They should not be reckoning anything. This is not one of my hillbilly cousins from Tennessee that is sitting outside on the porch smoking a cigarette going, I reckon that releases from strategic petroleum reserves by President Joe Biden and international partners end up making the price at the pump for Americans up to about 40 cents per gallon lower than it otherwise would have been. They're reckoning. You reckon. The National Treasury, the Treasury Department reckons. Okay. Wow. Biden's orders largest ever release from oil's reserves as he reacts to yeah. And then he blames Putin. It's not causing inflation. Although he said up here it was causing inflation. But according to Biden, it's Putin. As Biden fights inflation, economists warn his weapons for the battle look extremely limited. Remember, rock and a hard place. Feds are in a rock and a hard place. Biden's not doing anything. Biden's not fighting inflation. He's sitting there watching The Price is Right every morning, getting drugged up for his press conference. Okay, the White House also continued to highlight that gas prices have been pulling back from their highs. They've fallen for 6 weeks straight, and they're nearly 70 cents below where they were last month. Wow. They're 70 cents less than $5.50 and $6 and $7. That's a real great job, guys. I reckon y'all are doing a wonderful job. All right, that's enough of that nonsense. Okay. What'd you say? It's 369 there in where you're North Carolina, right? Oh, they got a gas promo going on, yeah, but see, you still got to spend. They want you to shop. So to earn those gas points, you're shopping at the grocery store that I was just talking about, where you're paying the high inflation on all the prices, unless you're going with the grocery store's own brand, which cuts out all the other business creating monopolies. So we're in such a mess right now. Okay, but let's see what we got here. They're talking about GE. I don't care about GE. Walmart profit warning. Okay, so I was expecting them to have some good earnings, but they're saying they're not. Oh, no. Okay. Two stocks hurt by Walmart cutting profit guidance ahead of a wave of corporate earnings. This is the big deal right here, though. While the International Monetary Fund warned the potential for a sharp global slowdown, it's not potential. We're already in a global slowdown. You can see that across all of the stock markets in every single country. Okay, so nothing there. It's important. So they cut its profit outlook, saying inflation on food has caused it to conduct more markdowns in apparel. It's like what was I saying? They were marking down things. So they're playing like it's hurting them, even though it's actually helping them monopolize, but whatever. Okay, this is another reminder how shifting dynamics and consumer preferences and supply chain issues are impacting retail. Okay, so which one is it? What's the inflation coming from? Is it coming from Putin? Is the high prices coming from Putin? Is it coming from is it coming from what Walmart's saying, that like everybody's saying something different right now. The truth of the matter is, inflation simply is just printing more money and devaluing the currency. That's all it is. So you see the finger pointing all across everywhere, and it's all finger pointing because the real culprit is the Federal Reserve. Okay, let's see here. Since expectations were set so low going into earnings season, the underlying theme so far has been that the situation is so they had expectations set for Walmart going low into earnings season, but let me read further. So far, that the situation has not been quite as dire as many feared. Yeah, right here, Federal Reserve starts its two-day interest rate meeting Tuesday, which is today, which is expected to conclude with a 75 basis point rate increase. As the central bank continues to tighten aggressively. Yeah, remember they tightened with all those point raises so far, and inflation's still going up. So, okay, so they're looking like they're going to come out with 75. Now, this meeting could happen at any. I mean, they can come out and say this at any single time, right? That's why I'm not trading, because the meeting is a 2-day meeting. They could cut it early, come out today, right in the middle of the market being open, and say, hey, we're doing a 1%, 1.2% interest rate hike, and then the market dumps. 75, if they just do a 0.75 interest rate hike, because basis points, I mean, people like to use the basis point way, but it's just a point. We're talking about percentage-wise, so screw the basis points. This 0.75, it's 3/4 a point. No reason to get confused with basis points. But that's probably not going to affect the market quite as hard. I mean, we're seeing it baking in already. People are dumping ahead of this Fed meeting. So, I see some newer PR that just came out a few minutes ago. We're almost to that, so let me keep on reading here. Right here. This is what it is. Okay, let me look at the rest of this first. U.S. economic data Tuesday, the S&P Core Logic Case-Shiller 20. What is this? I don't care. This is crazy. S&P Core Logic Case-Shiller 20 city index. Like what? First off, there's way more than 20 cities. So, I mean, maybe they've got the top 20 biggest cities, but that ignores all the other economic data of the whole rest of the country. So, I don't know why you would I've never even heard of this nonsense index. So, it decelerated to a 20.5% year-over-year gain in May, down 21% from the previous month. The Federal Housing Agency showed a 1.4% monthly gain, and over last year, the FHA index was up 18%. Sounds very pre-2008. The conference board said its index of consumer confidence fell to 94.7 in July. Yeah, because consumers are paying more. They're pissed off. U.S. new home sales plunged 8. See, I've been saying the housing market's already crumbling. U.S. home sales plunged 8.1% to a seasonally adjusted rate, so they are adjusting it, to 590,000 in June from a revised 642. So almost 60,000 less new home sales in June from the month earlier. So that shows a decrease in buyers. If people are not buying houses, then there's going to be supply. And that means the prices are going to come down. Inflation, gas prices, everything else is keeping people from buying houses. So therefore, we're seeing a decrease in home buyers, which means that there's going to be cheaper homes, more supply popping up until demand comes back in. Demand besides like Bill Gates buying farmland and a couple of institutions buying up apartment complexes and stuff like that. You don't have any majority of the country buying houses right now. I mean, we have 360 million people, and 590,000 houses were bought in June. That's a big decrease. So, not looking too good there. We're talking about GE again. That's that Biden thing. Blah blah blah. Consumer confidence declines for third straight month in June. Of course it does. Big picture, consumer confidence is heading lower and amid rising inflation and continued talk of elevated risk of recession. Right? Like I've been saying, we're already in a recession. There's no risk. We're in it. We have already hit the definition of recession. 2 quarters in a row, slow in GDP, and higher inflation. So we were in a recession at the beginning of Q2. They can keep saying we're not, but by definition, we are and already been in a recession. Economists note wealthy consumers are still spending. Yeah, well, of course they are. Let's see, this is the conference board. They said, looking ahead, inflation and additional rate hikes are likely continue posing strong headwinds. Exactly. Additional rate hikes and inflation together. We're in crazy times, crazy volatility. Outside economists say consumers increased pessimism and consistent with our view that consumer spending and broader economy are downshifting to a much slower growth path amid high inflation, rapidly rising interest rates, and financial market volatility. While we see strong economic fundamentals, well, okay, I agreed with them up to that period. As soon as they said that, as soon as the period ended, and then they said we're seeing strong economic fundamentals. And then, yes, we're seeing it from... Okay, all right, never mind. All right, so... There's inflation everywhere. And who said this right here? Somebody's talking some sense. We've been spoiled over the last couple of years about how every single earnings report was meeting or exceeding expectations. The CIO of Mission Square Retirement. Certainly, as we've got into 2022, that has not been the case. So, as I said, the last couple of years, even since 2018, the Feds have been buying. They've been buying assets. 2022, they stopped. They stopped the QE. They're dumping assets. That is what he has noticed. He's not saying it. I don't know why, but that is the case. And look at the market still dropping. As I'm talking about the news and inflation and everything, we are still dumping. Woo, boy, I can't wait to hear what these Feds say. It's going to be an interesting one. Each report stands to offer clues about how well different corners of the industry are withstanding inflation. So again, the companies that are benefiting off of inflation mainly are the materials companies, right? The people pulling things out of the ground that makes all the other products. Because inflation is higher, the gas prices are higher to run all that machinery. They can charge higher prices for their materials and write off the machinery costs, causing them bigger profit margins. You seeing this in the gold and silver mining, as well as coal, natural gas, all of those different commodities. They are having better earnings because they're able to charge a lot higher prices for the materials they're pulling out of the ground. So those sectors, good sectors, Crypto, blockchain, pretty much a new sector in the stock market, very young in the stock market. The Nasdaq is pulling back. Let's see if cryptos are pulling back as well. But normally that is the case. I've been looking for that switch, that change between the two, where the crypto market and the Nasdaq market are not following each other anymore. And we have started to see here lately a little bit of crypto movement changing. Now, of course, this 1-point interest rate hike is causing pressure as well, because again, we raise interest rates. That means all the debt, all the loans, everything, mortgages, housing, all that is going to go up. It is going to cost more money to borrow money. And people are already tight on money. They're going to need to borrow money, but they're not going to be able to afford to borrow the money because of the raising interest rates. They won't be able to afford the monthly payments. So it is affecting everything, absolutely, including the crypto market. But as you can see the difference, Bitcoin is still on this uptrend that it's been on the last couple of weeks. And as I've been saying, cryptos, have been down a whole ton on the year already, right? They could drop lower, but so far Bitcoin holding pretty strong. Even with the pullback today, it's still not even to the trend line or the bottom of the channel. Ethereum, same thing. I mean, it just went on a nice bull run, ripped $500 in a span of 4 days or something like that. Ran into a lot of resistance, pulling back, but still again on the uptrend, where the NQ is on that downtrend. The U.S. dollar index is on the downtrend. Cosmos Atom, if you've been following me, one of my bullish crypto plays, one of my biggest plays that I'm in, constantly earning airdrops and nice APRs. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Had that nice pop up to that top channel on this top line here, up to about $12 before getting a nice rejection, but already double bottoming off of the channel. So it's just got to break this downtrend, re-break 10. I did not think it was going to hold 10 off of the first test. Nothing hardly ever, well, no matter what chart you're looking at, usually breaks a whole number of support or resistance: $1, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100. Those areas are always going to be some type of resistance, whether it's past history that shows it. If it doesn't show it, there's still going to be resistance. So it usually takes a couple of times to try to break those type of areas. And $10 for Atom, looking back, is a huge support area. So needs to continue to push up and hold, get back above $10 and hold. So there is altcoins in the crypto market that are uptrending, even though everything else is downtrending. So I think we are seeing that switch from the NQ and cryptos following each other, because the NQ is still crashing right now. And as we just saw, Atom is sitting there right below $10 after it's been running up. This whole week, the market has been dropping, right? The stock market has been dropping. This whole past week, cryptos were moving up. Now, they're having a pullback today, but I mean, look how nasty we are in its pullback so far in the NQ. Okay, that's just crazy. What is this? Why is this on the NQ? This is like a Maury situation or a Jerry Springer. We get hundreds of thousands of dollars in royalties. My late father left his investments to me and my sister, but gave me more than 50%. My sister wants half. What should I do? I don't know. Nobody cares. Rock, paper, scissors. Punch her in the face. I don't care. Do something. Don't tell me about it. Who cares? That has nothing to do with the stock market. Uh-oh. Let's see what we got here. This is not good news. Early signs of cracks to consumer credit and strains. Soaring used car prices have kept a key spigot of funding for record $1.6 trillion auto loan market open, even as cracks in consumer debt have begun to emerge. Remember, I was just saying that about People are not going to be able to pay their debt. They're not going to be able to afford to take out any more debt. And that is what this person, whoever did this article, is talking about right there. And we're seeing it in the auto loan market. Reason why? It's used cars, because used cars are cheaper. And electric cars and hybrid cars are in high demand. That's something I've been talking about because they're low supply. So that has helped driven up used car prices, because you can get some you could get electric cars cheaper that were used. Now it's getting real thin pickings. But buying a used car is a lot cheaper than buying a new car. If it's high inflation and you need a car, you're probably not going to go finance. You probably can't go finance a brand new car. And that's why we're seeing the auto loan market so high. But again, if consumers who have all these loans, if the interest rate goes up and they don't have fixed APRs, then the interest rate is going to cause them to have to pay more interest back on all this 1.6 trillion auto loan market open. And 1.6 trillion with, let's say, car APRs usually run anywhere from 2% to 10%, but I would say with the average American's credit and debt, we'll say people usually get around 8%, but 10% for easy numbers. So 10% interest on 1.6 trillion. That is a lot of interest. That's a lot of interest that everybody who has loans has to pay off. And it's going to go up. That's at current prices. See, Wall Street bond deals that bundle up oh God. Oh no. This is the worst case scenario. This is what they did in 2008 with people's mortgages. Wall Street bond deals that bundle up used car loans to borrowers with spotty credit have been rolling along despite fears of new wave of auto repossessions as high inflation hits households least able to afford it. Oh my God, this is horrible. So these bond deals, what they're doing is they're taking the garbage loans, the people they loan money out to that are high risk. They're more likely not going to be able to pay it back. They're going to default or they're going to miss payments. They are selling those to Wall Street. Wall Street's bonding them up into a bundle and then probably going to put them in everybody's 401ks the same way they did mortgages in the 2008 housing market crash. So we're going to see a auto crash. We're going to see a housing crash. We're going to see the market already crashing. We're going to see crashes all the way around. This is what happens when you get high inflation. If we get into hyperinflation, it does not matter how rich you are, what you have. Hyperinflation screws everybody. So that is not where we want to go. We are getting very close to hyperinflation and all these markets cracking. People do not have money to hold. We have a consumer-built economy. So with a consumer-built economy, the consumers don't have any more money to spend to keep the economy going. 1 + 1 equals the economy stops going, right? So it's pretty simple when you're looking at this whole overall picture. When you're trying to think of it. But this is not good. This is not good at all for the auto industry. Woo, boy, they're about to get hit hard too. Everything's about to get hit hard. Except for, like I said, maybe cryptos. If cryptos can continue to hold and continue their uptrend at the moment, then we could see that bull market altcoin run that I've been predicting on this year at some point. But until this rate hike comes out, till this news comes out today or tomorrow, I really am iffy on what is going to happen in the short term, because if they stick with the 0.75, then things will continue as they've been continuing. But if they go up to 1 or more, that is going to throw a wrench. If they go down and reverse course, well, then we're going to see some craziness, because that means they're going to print money and we're going to see another artificial bull run in probably all assets, which will last as long as they can print the money without devaluing the dollar to nothing, which I don't think they'll be able to do. And that's when the dollar will go down to zero and lose its world reserve status if they do not do something major here soon. So let's see, SIGA, yeah, pulling back off that double top. Look at all that selling pressure right at 17 after hitting that all-time high, or not all-time high, but daily high. GovX pulling back too. So everything that was up and ripping and moving is pulling back, and that is because the Nasdaq is continuing to crash, right? All these stocks that we trade are listed on the Nasdaq. They are Nasdaq listed stocks. So that means that the NQ covers all of them, right? If it's a Nasdaq stock, the Nasdaq futures is going to have an effect on them. We are seeing the NQ crashing, and we are seeing every single stock right now that was running going red. It's something I've been talking about. Planet 13 marijuana stock, hey, that's one of my close watches right there. When we do get to the bottom of the market, I plan on picking up some shares of this company because I love this dispensary and everything they do. Really nice. But that's been uptrending. Hold on a second. Are we seeing a market rotation into pot stocks? I've been waiting, but I haven't seen any evidence of it yet. No, nothing there. PRS, no. Let's check the YOLO. And actually, let me go into a daily. Nah, not really. I mean, we have a small uptrend that they've started on. According to the YOLO ETF, which is weighted by cannabis stocks, dispensary, stuff like that. This actually looks like a possible bounce here today, too. Let's see, they ran up to the YOLO ran a 625. Around then, pulling back down to 575, 550-ish off of that trend line. Interesting. See how Altria is doing. MO, that one had a big pullback. Not sure why MO pulled back so well. The Nasdaq's been dropping, that's why. But really getting hit hard in May. They must have had bad earnings. Which, you know, cigarettes is, there's things with cigarettes. That's one of their main things. But they still paid out their dividends, so I don't know. It's still a 90-cent dividend. Looks like quarterly. Yeah. YBCT. Yeah, see, all of these are still in downtrends. So we're not seeing a rotation yet. Yeah, IRP, wow. IIPR down to $88. This is another one of my main watches when we get to the bottom of the market. If I can get that down at $30, $40, maybe even $20, I will be very, very tickled. Beautiful, beautiful pot REIT. It's a real estate investment trust. Let me see, let me get some of these comments here. Oh, I got a bunch of comments. All right, let me see. Where was I at? One live said, I think Biden will die from COVID. Probably not. He's more likely to die from old age at this point than anything. I mean, he's like 97 years old or something, you know? He's more likely to die from walking out in traffic, I'd say, than anything else. The way he walked into those bushes on that video and just disappeared. You got gas at Speedway last week for $4. Speedway's always pretty cheap. $4.59. Daniel B. in Illinois. Well, now if you can't print trillions out of dollars of thin air, exactly. Then that was the gas price. When you spend around $100 a week in groceries, that is actually $1 a week that I get off. So I'm actually paying $2.69. Nice. That's what you got to do, is take advantage of these programs, especially during a recession. to decrease your expenses. Like, you want to decrease your expenses or increase your revenue streams. I mean, that's the only two ways that you can, still stay above and stay afloat during crazy times like this, is to either make more revenue than you're spending, make more money than you're spending, or cut your spending until you're making more money than you're spending. it's pretty much it. Uh, Stream, sell, shopper, mile, coupon. Exactly. Very nice. Nice. Night Stalker still getting paid even you got some problems. You're looking for a cheap rental home. I think you'll get your chance. You'll get your chance. I don't think. Well, there could be deals right now. I mean, that's true. In real estate, there's always, no matter what the market's doing, you're always going to find, if you do the research and do the actual going out and driving around. Like, if you just research real estate online, you can get a good view, but you always need to drive to the property, check it out, make sure that everything is legit from what they said, and then look for anything that they either did not want to tell you or that they did not know about to tell you. And the main thing with real estate is you want to make sure, especially if it's a house or something, foundation, foundation, foundation. You do not want problems with the foundation. You do not want problems with the chimney. If it's got a chimney and it's leaning, that's a big problem. It costs a lot to take a chimney out of a house. You can't just take a chimney and stabilize it. I mean, you can try, but most houses with brick chimneys are really old, so there's only so much you can do to stabilize without screwing up the old house. But there's always going to be deals, so you can find a good deal right now, I'm sure, especially in your state. You don't have a lot of people really buying up in Michigan, at least not around Detroit yet. Let's see. So SIGA is actually getting some buying pressure, pushing it back up. May get another test of 17 here. We still got 3 minutes. Let me go into this other hour chart and check here. Yeah, 3 minutes on this candle. So both of these are 1 hour. They're just different aggregation. This one does not show pre-market and after hours. This one does. That's why you see the gray boxes. That's pre-market and after hours. If you're not showing the pre-market and after hours up here, then you're going to show gaps if the stock moves. So this right here was a gap in pre-market or after hours or whatever. But looking at both of these charts, both are 1 hour, you can see they look a little bit different. This candle's fixing to close because this is an aggregated time period off of pre-market open, which is on a whole hour. The aggregation for this chart up here, where it doesn't show pre-market and after hours, only shows from the open of market open, so 9:30 Eastern when the market opens till the market closes at 4 Eastern? Yeah, 4 Eastern. It's 3 my time, 4 Eastern. And you get similar patterns, but you can get double the confirmation by looking at the same hour chart with the different aggregations. Because here, it looks like we may be trying to rebound, whereas on this chart right now, we are still uptrending, but we're getting selling pressure. So we're showing some buying pressure here, but showing selling pressure here. So we like it to line up on both charts. It makes sense. That's double the confirmation when your patterns are lining up on both of them. But right now they're doing kind of the opposite. So that means there's a lot of indecision. GameStop poised to fail, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay. 2 quarters with a pullback is a recession by definition. Well, we've hit that too. Lori, you called out PIK and PIG. Let me throw them on the list and we'll take a quick look at those. Is that PIG? Oh, PGY. I was going to say there's a stock called Pig. It's like Big Bear earlier. Oh, yeah, nice. Nice run on PGY. Trading higher company completed a SPAC merger, so it was a SPAC merger, SPAC, however you want to say it. We did see those get really hot a while back, and apparently this thing has been hot for the last 4 or 5 days. It is way off of this trend line, but yeah, Laura, I don't know when you called this out, but beautiful rip there. Nice move on this stock. Going against the grain of the NQ. Look at that NQ. That candle opening right on that line. Now up here on this chart, same time frame. This one's not closed yet. Well, actually, look at that. We're getting confirmation, both aggregations of time periods. And it looks like we're going to drop lower. But yeah, PGY, what was that? 653 million in shares, and they had that big of a rip today? Good Lord. 10 to 16. That's a $6 rip. So that's interesting. Definitely a good call out whenever you called it out, because it's been ripping. I mean, just now here. I know you were talking about it in HH Traders chat this morning. I saw you had called it out there. So you've called. I mean, look at that perfect double bottom, too. Beautiful double bottom on this 1 hour. You got the double bottom of the wicks, double bottoms of the bodies. As soon as that bad boy started pushing up over the tops of these bodies here, and then that pre-market high, this thing was ready to rip. Very nice setup. Now let's look at the daily, see how the daily, oh yeah, daily straight up. Above all indicators, no resistance ahead of this because this is a SPAC merger, SPOC merger, whatever. We'll call them Spock just for Star Trek fans, even though I'm not a Star Trek fan. Oops, that's the wrong line. That's not the line I wanted. But yeah, perfect uptrend. So this is beautiful. This is a beautiful play, Lori. I see why you called this out. Above all EMAs, nothing ahead of it. Beautiful uptrend over the past couple of weeks. Got a reason to pop. Right here on the daily. This is actually, when you see this pattern on the daily chart, this pattern a lot of times potentially will do this. And the pattern I'm talking about, let's see if I can draw. I forget if I can draw on Thinkorswim. Well, I'll just use a circle. The pattern I'm talking about, it's not a circle. What are you doing? Come on. Come on. Come on, man. There's a bush. Try to draw a circle, and Thinkorswim decided to go to the bottom of the chart like I needed. Or like I didn't need. There you go again. Stop that. There we go. So right here. This pattern right here on the daily chart. Because what you're seeing is, and this pattern works really a lot better in an uptrending Nasdaq market than a downtrending market, but you can still see it. So you have initial nice rip, big green candle. That was a big rip from $5 up to 14. Had a little pullback, but held most of its gains on this day. The next day it had a sell-off. Makes sense, right? Because it ripped big. Shorters wanted to get some of that, but shorters were not able to bring it down below the halfway point of this previous candle, right? The halfway point's about right there. They weren't even close. So sellers and shorters, there wasn't enough pressure to bring it down. The next day you see a candle open up like this and start to push green over that previous red day candle and that first initial rip candle, which it's the same pattern here. First initial rip, small, not even 20-30% retracement the next day, and then big candle exploding above that previous body. So same thing here. This candle exploding above that previous body. But that is if it now the difference is if it drops to 50%, then it gets sketchy. If it goes below 50%, you're not the consistency percentage wise of this breakout pattern is not going to be very high. This is what you want to see. Exactly the way that PGY looks is what you want to see on these patterns. That is beautiful. Right up that uptrend, holding its gains, continuing the upward momentum. But, you know, we're running in that $15 area. As we were talking about earlier, that $15 area is a hard area, so of resistance, I would expect some type of little pullback maybe tomorrow. And also the size of this candle, of course, it's really early in the day. There's still plenty of time left in the market that this could try to push up. Like I said, it is going against the Nasdaq, which is a good thing. One of the very few stocks to be going. Oh gosh, what is that? That's gold. Speaking of gold, yeah, gold's still downtrending, but gold has strong support at 1,700. You can see it on the previous history. If anybody wants me to pull up the gold chart, I can, but I would expect it to hover around the 1,700 area. And then PIK was the other play that you called back. What is this? They don't have... So shop, let's check out their website. It's an online retailer. Actually, pretty good website. Very nice. Up to 75% off clearance. And this is one of those box websites, so their main niche is for younger kids, it looks like. 4-star reviews out of 28,000 here on the actual site, and these are actual real people. You can see they posted pictures, so these are not fake reviews. Bunch of 5 stars. Very nice. There's the curated box. These curated box things are money makers. I mean, it's just stupid. So take your quiz. It's like magic, and they deliver it right to your door. Nothing wrong with this at all, actually. They may be a newer company, but they got all their social media. Let's see, how long has this company been out? I don't think they've been out since 2000. Let me scroll back here. Oh, they had a partnership with Disney back in March. Cheaper by the dozen for release, something there. So they've done partnerships with major companies too. Now, I don't like retail companies, but at least it's an online retail company with good reviews. As far as the day trade today, I mean, I can see exactly what you looked for, Lori. I mean, this is money all day. Nice call out. Look at this. Oh, don't do that. Right here. Beautiful. Double bottom. Get that double bottom. Break over the previous body. About that $2 area. Boom. Big rip up to 361. Now, this is bearish on the chart because it is below all the EMAs. Let me go back into the daily. Okay. That's on the longer time frame on the month, but actually on the daily, the 10-day just crossed over the 50-day in the last 2 days and is pointing straight up towards that 200. So the 200 is above it, but you got so much room. It actually, yeah, this right, oh, this is another thing. Gosh, Lord, damn, this was a good play. What a play. What a beautiful, beautiful pattern. So So that previous support right there, and then we had this gap to fill. So you can see, I'm going to go ahead and remove that circle. You can see right here, all of this resistance that was across there. And then this big space from $2 up to the body of this candle about 334. So all we did was just fill that gap. But perfect double bottom off of bottom support, breaking the top of the support resistance zone, pushing almost all the way up to that 200, filling that gap. I mean, that's just beautiful, easy money. So good job, Lori. Both your calls today, just fireball calls. I don't know when you called them to start off with, but geez. Very nice. Now, could this keep running? I don't know. It just, like I said, starting to run into a lot of resistance. Starting to kind of get a little head and shoulders here. There's your shoulder, or your head. Other shoulder. And then we are starting to kind of form that other shoulder at the moment. So that may have to have a pullback, which would make sense. I mean, it's hitting all this resistance, needs to slow down, come back down to 2 and have a bounce. Come back down to that 10-day. Strange. Maybe this company's doing really well. I can look up their finances. I'm going to leave it on the watch list just to check out their finances. This PGY play, though, I mean, that's just beautiful. I mean, that is when I talk about A+ setups or the best type of setups, this is it. I mean, you can't get any more prettier than this setup. Even if you go on the monthly chart, which, you know, it's not been out that long, you can see this is a bullish engulfing candle and a double bottom on the full monthly chart. I mean, you have confirmation of this rip today. If you would have got in, you know, here early today or yesterday while it was going flat, I mean, you had a double bottom right there and then break over the previous body of that candle. So not only is it a double bottom on the monthly chart, it's a bullish engulfing candle so far. Double the confirmation there. So every time frame lining up right for this thing. But of course, $15, like I've been saying, is going to be pretty strong. But good call outs. Very nice call outs. Siga trying to push back up right now. All right, let's see what else we got. Lauren, you was in some POW. One Life, you disagree. Hold on, let's see. We got some disagreements with me. Let's see if I'm going to spend time on One Life's disagreements or not. You can pick and choose any individual crypto or stock to fit the narrative. The biggest crypto, Bitcoin, and stock markets are very similar in chart. No. No. Both Daniel B. and One Life are extremely wrong. The last 5 days... So this is where you need to do crypto research. If you do not do your research, then this is where you're going to say stupid stuff like those two just did. Yes, Bitcoin has been downtrending for 5 days, but Bitcoin has been uptrending since the beginning of June. So this little time period is irrelevant when the whole time period here is going up. Now, we go back to the monthly chart. This is Bitcoin's monthly chart. Let's pull up the NQ to go ahead and just put an end to the nonsense that One Life just said real quick. And so we got Bitcoin there, and I don't even like Bitcoin. I'm on altcoins. I'm bullish on altcoins, not Bitcoin. I don't know how many times I have to say that I do not care about Bitcoin. It's the least of any of the cryptos that I want anything to do with. But anyway, I'm not defending Bitcoin. All I'm doing right now is just showing the actual fact of the matter here. Whoops, well, we'll just put Bitcoin on this chart then. Why are you in a line chart? Get out of this line chart. Well, it's fine. Oh, I went into Bitcoin twice. Let's see here. NQ. This is your NQ chart overall. This is your Bitcoin chart overall. They do have a bit of similarity, which is what I said. They have been following each other. But at the moment, we are seeing Bitcoin. Oh, why do you keep changing to both? Okay, no wonder they look so damn. I thought that didn't look right. There we go. Much better. There's Bitcoin's chart. I didn't think Bitcoin had all of this. All right, anyway. Now that we got the right charts, let's analyze this the right way. So, from 2015, yes, both of them have went straight up. But what has happened since 2008? The Feds have pumped money into the assets, quantitative easing. Everything has been going up since 2008. There's gold, 2008. What else do you want me to go to? Oil, 2008. 2008 oil was right around here, down at the bottom. You know, when we're having economic calamities like we're having right now, then you're going to see changes. The NQ and Bitcoin, I don't care. They could continue to follow each other. But right here's, whoops, I just closed the chat. Let me pull up the chat real quick again, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about on a chart. And we'll end this. Okay. So, this is the altcoin season index. Top 50 performers over the last 90 days. You can see there is a lot of red. However, Bitcoin is right here. You have Cardano, Stellar Lumens, Matic, BNB, Monero, FTT, Bitcoin, Satoshi, whatever that is, Ethereum Classic, Uni, QNT, LEO, XCN, and whatever this TR is, all outperforming Bitcoin. Bitcoin is losing dominance. There's a reason for that. Because there's nothing really being developed on Bitcoin. It is simply used as a store of value and as a currency. That is its only utilities. Other coins, other altcoins are adding tons of utility. We go to this altcoin season chart and look at it. So when we're down here, you can see we're in Bitcoin season. Altcoins have been down since the beginning of the year right here. So altcoins are starting to outperform Bitcoin as we just saw. I am not calling for Bitcoin to run to 150,000. I don't care what Bitcoin does. It's irrelevant in my analysis because Bitcoin is one blockchain, one crypto out of all these other projects. It has a weight on the market, but that weight is slowly going away. We have a way better percentage chance to see another altcoin run. I mean, you can see this. When altcoins are hot, Bitcoin can be hot or it can be down. It doesn't matter. But every time we get down to this area, we pop right back up. We've gotten down to this area, a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders here, already building higher lows and higher highs. Totally different looking chart than what we're looking at on the Nasdaq right now. So this is bullish looking, right? You got an uptrend over since May. NQ since May. The NQ since May, downtrend. So altcoins are outperforming the Nasdaq. They're outperforming Bitcoin. They're outperforming gold. They're outperforming everything except for oil, natural gas, and whatever else. And that's the truth of it. Hold on just a second, guys. I gotta get back to the chat here. I mean, that is the numbers. That is the statistics. So, SIGA looking like it's wanting to try to push again for a possible new high. What's that NQ doing at the moment? NQ just sitting right there on that line. So what we say, altcoins have been running, altcoins have been heating up since May. Look at this. Let me go to the daily chart. Nasdaq, this is the beginning of May, downtrend. So, you got to do your research. You got to be doing your research. Making baseless claims about cryptos when you've not done your research You are missing all the details, all the important information. You cannot base your analysis of the overall crypto market off of Bitcoin. You are completely ignoring billions of dollars in that market. Billions. By only looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not the end all be all. Just like the Nasdaq and the US dollar is not the end all be all of the global economy. That type of thinking is what gets you in trouble and what gets you missing opportunities. All right, so let's see what else we got here. I'm a lot. Okay, here we go. Housing approval a lot different from 2008. More regulation since then. So you think more regulation is a good thing? You do agree that housing declined because of rates and overvalued from the last 2 years? Yeah, I mean, that should be obvious. There shouldn't be any type of debate there. Consumer dollar doesn't stretch as far when the rates are at 3 compared to now. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. One knife on the rates and the housing thing. Yep. Yeah. On top of less new built homes, right? Because, like I said, those material companies are charging higher prices. Yeah, I would say you're right, Stonks and Chomps. I'd say he's probably going to get replaced here soon. Yeah, if you can do the work on your own properties, your own rental properties or whatever, uh, and it's got solid bones. Cosmetics is easy. Cosmetics is the cheapest and easiest part of real estate that there is. 50% margin on property monthly. If you're looking for 50% margin, then you probably need to look for a triplex. Because if you go single family, you're only going to get that one rental revenue income. Where if you go a triplex, you're going to get the mortgage paid for plus 2 other profits. So that should be 50%, maybe even 100%. You're not towing any party lines anymore. Very nice, not stickered. Parties, Republican, Democrat, it's all the same bird, same wings flying in the same direction. The voting ballot usually looks like Michael J. Fox was given. Oh, he passed yesterday. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay, it was a hoax. All right. All right. That would have been epic. Yeah, the whatever that was, KPPIK or whatever. Yeah, that's a subscription box company as well as they have the retail. Night Stalker, you're interested in marijuana stocks? Well, you are at the right channel, my friend, because that is how I got started 8 years ago when they started legalizing marijuana, and I found out that you could invest, you could buy stocks into those companies. So anytime you want to hear about stocks that are pot stocks, like I said, Planet 13 is one of my favorites. If you've never been to Planet 13 in Las Vegas, it's not a normal dispensary. It is an insane dispensary, and that's PLNHF. It's showing that they're on the OTC, but I thought that no, they didn't uplist yet. That's right. I keep thinking it's BTC who uplisted. Planet 13 is still on the OTC, but I'd imagine they're going to uplist soon because they are buying more and more properties to add more. Oh, and this is also nice. Planet 13 begins drafting applications to add consumption lounge to their superstore. When I went to Planet 13, they did not have that. But they do have like a whole bar, a whole restaurant and everything in the dispensary. And if people could hang out and smoke in there,
they're going to get the munchies. They're going to go over to that bar and they're going to spend more money. They're going to spend money on buying the marijuana at the dispensary. They're going to spend the money on the utensils to smoke it, because I would assume that Planet 13 is probably going to pull sneaky and not let you bring your own utensils out of health reasons. So they'll have to pay for those utensils, and then they'll get hungry and they'll have to pay for food. The leaders of this company are on point. I have done tons of research. There's also several videos, 3 or 4 I think, on Planet 13 from the past that I've done on them, but they've got a lot coming out. They announced third Florida dispensary. So when I found Planet 13, they only had the one dispensary in Las Vegas. It was just getting going really good, and that was only 2 years ago. And now they got 3 dispensaries located in Florida, and they like to put them in tourist areas. Tourist areas pay a lot higher money because tourists like to pay and spend money. But yeah, Planet 13, probably one of my top watches for pot stocks, and then the other one is IIPR, which I did look at earlier. Which IIPR is a REIT, real estate investment trust, but they focus on buying the land or buildings that dispensaries and marijuana farms are using that they get into debt. They'll buy it from them, clear their debt, and rent it back out to them. Unbelievable business model, hence why they've been growing nonstop since this company has come out, and they have paid dividends consistently, growing dividends along the way. Already right now up to $1.75. Just last year, December is $1.50. So quarterly dividend increase over this last year by 25 cents. And the price is still going down. But by law, real estate investment trust, REITs, are required to pay out 90% of profits to shareholders. That's how it works. So that's why you see these real estate investment trusts with big fat dividends a lot of times, because they have to pay it out. They don't have a choice unless they're unprofitable. If they're not profitable, then they're not going to pay out a dividend. But if why would you be looking at an unprofitable REIT for? That doesn't make any sense. All right, let me get to the rest of these comments, and I think we'll call it a day. Yeah, if the legalization, like Chomps is saying, as soon as legalization comes. No, that again, One Life has not done enough research on pot stocks. There is clear leaders in the marijuana sector. There is obvious clear leaders. The Fed meeting. What's up, everybody? Reliable Rudy, one of our new members to the Framework Fortune Media Network. Go check out his channel. He's just put out 2 videos 2 days in a row, and he's going 30 days straight on Roth IRAs, all of that stuff. But go and check him out. Actually, here, I'll grab your link for you real quick and drop it in case Lauren hasn't dropped it yet. Bada bing. Right, there's Reliable Rudy's channel, our new Framework Fortune member to the media network, new content creator. The Fed meeting is happening already, and it happens through tomorrow. Only subscriptions you kept were Xbox Game Pass and RuneScape. Yeah. Subscription services are a hoodoo. That's why you see so many people on YouTube who are traders or stock market people or whatever, and they're trying to sell you a monthly subscription for their courses. Because I could do this and make a ton of money, but that's not what I'm trying to do. Like most of you know, I'm out here just trying to help, just trying to spread my knowledge, what I'm learning, what I'm seeing, my analysis, all of that. I don't need to charge for it because I can make ad revenue. I make money all types of other ways, different revenues. So I don't need to charge all for it. But those monthly subscriptions are killer. And here's the reason why. Just think about it. Just think about the math. If a day trading guru, we won't say any names, which there are no such things as day trading gurus, but self-proclaimed day trading gurus, sells 100 subscriptions monthly for $50. That's $5,000 a month off of 100 people, right? It's not very hard to get 100 people to sign up for a monthly subscription thing, especially in the stock market where we have so many new influx of traders coming in. So those are the people who I was calling out last week on the stream. It's the same scumbags that it's on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter, trying to sell their subscription services to teach you how to trade, which is just all BS and nonsense. So watch out for that if you're new. I saw Night Stalker was saying he's kind of new. Okay. Yeah, stocks and jobs during sundial long. They are big and Oh, they just bought the largest bottling company in Canada. Okay, I'd have to look at them again. I'm iffy on sundial myself, but I haven't done as much research. Let's see. Framework Fortune coin is going to be coming out very soon, Daniel B. But first, we released our own project, the first community-driven project, which is the DLA DAO, Digital Land Acquisition DAO, focused on NFT play to earn gaming. This, of course, is in the blockchain world. If you are skeptical of NFTs or any of that, I can totally understand why, because there is no reason that pictures of monkeys smoking cigarettes should be worth lots of money. However, NFTs are not art. Art can be an NFT just like anything else. NFT just simply means non-fungible token, but the technology is a simple transfer of ownership from one person to another person without a middleman, without a government, without any extra ways for hackers to try to get in there, right? If you got to go through a bank, through a credit card company, through the government, all of this, that's a lot of different links where a hacker or somebody could get in a lot easier just by probabilities. Whereas NFT technology is one straight track, right? If you only got one straight track, then it's a lot easier to move that money. It's quicker, it's more secure, it's more efficient, it's everything. That's why cryptos have done what they've done. And NFTs, these are not art NFTs. What I'm focused on with this project and the rest of the Framework Fortune community and affiliates, which you can see the whole development team if you come to the website here, is the play to earn blockchain games with NFTs. And the reason why, because these are not art. They have art, they're going to have art on them, but just like a REIT in the stock market where you can grab, get some real estate exposure and get those high paying dividends, this is essentially a similar idea, but for the blockchain play to earn gaming sector, which esports is going heavy into. We're not going to see esports covering the previous games, Call of Duty, all of that. They are moving into the blockchain space. So that sector of blockchain gaming is really starting to warm up, and one of the main sectors of crypto altcoins that I'm watching. Those NFTs have utility. They're not just a piece of art. You own, if you buy a piece of land like you would in real life, in one of these games, you are going to be able to generate revenues off of that digital land. And there's a lot of different ways to generate those revenues. So the whole purpose of this project is to bring together everybody in a decentralized form. I'm not the CEO of DLA DAO. There's no CEO. It's a completely decentralized project. People vote. They create proposals. All of that on the acquisitions that we decide to get. That's the type of projects I want to put out from the Framework Fortune community, is ones that are decentralized, can make us all money, and help us all grow together. And that's what the DLA DAO is designed for specifically. And the timing of that DAO is really, really good because we're seeing the crypto market prices really low. A lot of PTE games are starting to promote. Fractal has been on YouTube ads nonstop the last couple of weeks, which is a wallet and gaming NFT marketplace on the Solana blockchain. So we will be focusing on that. We're already focusing on these new PTE games that are coming out with that esports adoption potential. One example is Illuvium. Now, I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of details about it. This stuff I'm going to talk on the crypto channel. If you've not joined the Framework Fortune crypto channel, go subscribe to that. Or if you're not in the Framework Fortune Discord, which you should be, because we cover everything in the Discord, from stock market, economy, futures, cryptos, NFT gaming, anything you can think of. Somebody's probably talked about it or posted something in there, but we have a cool Discord, and then the DLA DAO has its own Discord as well. But this is a DAO that's ahead of its time, and we are going to make some mass moves. But because of the timing of the DLA DAO, I had to put a little bit of a hold on the Framework Fortune project. However, the Framework Fortune project, because we just went through the whole process of launching the DLA DAO, the Framework Fortune project will be an easier launch because we have already done it, built on Juno. We have templates and everything that we can pull from the DLA DAO and just copy and paste into the coding for the Framework Fortune project. So the Framework Fortune project is still on. Framework Fortune token will be similar to DLA token, both built on Juno in the Cosmos ecosystem and built using the DAO protocols. It's a layer 2 on Juno. But anyway, cryptos. You guys know how I love my cryptos. But yeah, if you're interested in the DLA DAO, go check it out. Simple enough, dladao.org. If not, don't worry about it. The Framework Fortune project is going to be completely focused on the stock markets and asset markets, not quite as much as crypto, even though it is a blockchain project. So, back to my example, as I was saying with Illuvium, with the land staking. Some of the land plots in Illuvium have arenas on them. And those arenas is where esports, big tournaments, $1 million tournaments with sponsors like Coca-Cola and stuff like that will be hosted at. Well, if you own that digital piece of land in that game, in Illuvium, all the sponsorship revenue and advertisement revenue from Coke and all those esports sponsors will go to you because you own that piece of the actual game. Old school gaming, you don't own anything. You buy a video game, you get to play it. Sure, you might have a character in there, whatever, but that you don't own none of that. You don't own that actual character. You don't own anything that you build in the game. With blockchain NFT gaming, you actually have real ownership of pieces of the game, making the games more decentralized and making it to where the players can make plenty of money and not some CEO corporation. So that is where esports is going to. That's not even like speculation. The esports money is lining up, and Illuvium has a lot of backing. So that's why the digital DAO had to be put out as soon as possible, because we want to get that rolling, get on these cheap prices, get in some of these projects early, and that way we'll be generating revenues for everybody who stakes to the DAO. Consistent revenue generation, that's what it's all about. Whew. But the Framework Fortune blockchain project will be out here in the next couple of months, at least the soft launch of it. In the meantime, we will be doing airdrops for the dladao.org. Matter of fact, while I'm streaming, let's just go ahead and watch the intro. Let's watch the first intro trailer that was just put out. I'll set this up really quick, and then we'll watch it together here, and you guys can let me know your thoughts if you've not seen it and what you think about it. and you can get a little bit more explanation from that. Blah, 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 blah. I got to turn on the audio output capture. Yeah, okay. And then let's pop up this video real quick, and we'll say it's only a minute long, so we'll get back to stop market in a second, but it's just a minute long. No big deal. Right, okay. Oh, hold on, no, we gotta have the audio. For some reason my audio output capture is not working. There we go.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have it douse, not what I'm about, have your f***ing cloud, it be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. Just tell me that I can, just tell me that I can, just tell me that I can, just tell me that I can.
Alright, so if you haven't seen it, that is the intro commercial to the DAO. There will be a couple of more commercials coming out, intro trailers, stuff like that, as we are trying to promote it. But as you saw, there will be airdrops for it coming very, very soon. And shout out to all the members of the development team in the Framework Fortune community, Stocks and Chops Gaming, Indica Forest, Reliable Rudy, which is iRooster, well no, he came in Reliable Rudy, HH Trader, Papa Wolf, who is an anonymous blockchain consultant, don't want to put his information out there, and as a fan of decentralization and anonymity, I can appreciate that. And did I forget anybody else on the team? Oh, of course, my lovely wife, her business Framework for Fortune consultant and graphics design. If you know, while we're sitting here promoting, we might as well. This is actually her business. It has nothing to do with my business, Framework Fortune. Eventually we may merge or something, but if you need graphics designs, here's her gallery. She works with small businesses, tries to help them out. This is a jewelry company that she's been working on with, an online jewel sales company, and these graphics she designed herself, as well as took the photos of this beautiful jewelry that you see there. This is one of her Tempest Jewelry Works. You click, you can see and actually see this is a real business, and she's designed this whole Etsy thing here. You can see all these beautiful pictures and all of that. So even if it's not just regular graphics, if you got weird things like this or products, whatever, she will hook you up. Just hit her up at her website, frameworkfortuneconsulting.com, and let her know that you are from the Framework Fortune community, and she will give you a discount. So like if you have a small business, you need help with all that, she can definitely help. She's very, very good at creating what people want. She lets you take the reins and decide what you want, while helping guide to something that a graphic or a sales graphic or whatever that will get higher view output, right? That's what my focus is here on the channel. She's helped me with that for a long time since I've been on this channel, SEO and higher viewer output. So she has plenty of experience in from that, as well as her own dealings. And my wife is, you guys think I'm crazy and do a lot, you ain't seen nothing. She crazy when it comes to entrepreneurship. So anyway, let me get back to our comments here, and then I'm going to call it a day. Got some animal talk, some leggings. Got some dog talk. You know I love my pups. GeoVX falling Siga, but hitting that 200. Yeah, let's see where GeoVX is at. Yep, still smack. Look at that. Double topping right there. Push us back into an hour chart. Yeah. Oops, that's a day. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, running into all that resistance there. Siga still, you know, ooh, that kind of looks bad on Siga on this chart. So we could not get a higher high after that high of the day. We got a lot of indecision. Now we're starting to go red on this candle. It's making a bit of a flag, but this is a sketchy flag. See where the NQ is. Oof. Look at that. NQ tried to bounce, and it couldn't. Short bounce off of that support area and got slammed right back down. More than likely, though, this is not buyers. This is shorters covering their positions, which makes them buyers. So shorters covering is not buying pressure to the upside. It's them locking in their profits from this nasty drop down they just got on it. And then once they lock out their profits, if it starts to crack again, them shorters are going to load up again here. And you can see it's borderline cracking. And then we'll be seeing another leg down. Woo, boy. It is getting ugly. Alrighty. Thoughts on the chart for 10 cent. I will pop into that in just a second. We got the Elon court case y'all are talking about. A bunch of craziness there. Daniel B still talking about Peloton. Well, yeah, in that case, I mean, the thing with mobile home stocks and shops, you're going to lose value from the mobile home itself. But that 4 acres, that land, you can do what you're talking about, like you said, and build anything on it. Land, as I always say, land is always number one. Always number one, because land, if there's nothing on it at all, it doesn't matter. You can put something on it that generates revenue. Or do what you're talking about, you know, buy it now with a nice little mobile home on it and then build your house up while you're, because 4 acres is plenty. Ooh, so many comments. I'm trying to keep up here. Dumb lost asset. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Daniel B. No, the project is nothing like, it's not a game. The digital land acquisition DAO is not a game. It's an acquisition DAO. It acquires digital assets that generate revenues. It does not go, but that doesn't even make sense. Go do some research on cryptos, please, before you start trying to trash a project that you know nothing about. Please don't trash this project. This project is not just me. Multiple Framework Fortune community members have put in lots of time into this project. If you don't like it, don't want to be a part of it, no problem. Don't talk about it. But you start trashing it, I'm going to ban you from this channel, because nobody cares about that negative nonsense. You negative Nancy. All right, anyway, let's see here. Stonks turned me on to your channel. Awesome. Well, Night Stalker, I hope you're in the Discord as well. Hopefully she got you in the Discord. Great job, Stonks. Lauren always out there being an awesome moderator. Daniel B, I would not say working with me. You don't work for any part of Framework Fortune. You're not even in the Framework Fortune Discord, so do not lie and tell people stuff like that you're working with me. You are not working with me in any sort of the way. You've not put one. That is an insult to everybody else in the Framework Fortune community who has put in effort and time into building this community. You two both are on the borderline of getting the band stick so hard. Keep playing, see what happens. Yes, I did go on a crypto rave a few weeks ago in Paris. It was nice. A crypto wave. Or crypto rave. What is it? What is a crypto rave? Alright, whatever. Let's see. Converting PDF into an EPUB. Might need to talk about that to HH. She's more the tech side. Lori Lee, talented wife, thank you. The jewelry, yeah, the company that she, or the Tempest Jewelry that she works with, the owners create the jewelry themselves. They're actual jewelry smiths. They're not drop shipping jewelry, right? They get the gold, the silver, the pearls, whatever they get from their suppliers. They get the base materials, and then they make the jewelry by hand into the pieces that you saw on that. So really cool company, small business. Definitely support Tempest Jewelry Works. If you're looking for any type of jewelry, shout out to them for their continued business dealings with my wife and her business Framework Fortune Consulting and Graphic Design. Okay. Land is king, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Lauren. Gold prospecting rights in Arizona and growing your own food. You want more than more land than a house. Bingo. That's another thing. You can pull money out of the ground with land. If there's any type of materials in that ground, and you have the mining rights. Very big important point for anybody ever going to go purchase a property. If you don't care about the mining rights, you don't care what's under the ground, fine. But if you care what's under the ground, make sure when you put the offer in that you get the mining rights. If the city has the mining rights, or the government, the state, or whatever, you're not going to be able to pull up a whole bunch of nice stuff that may be under the ground, like oil or gold, silver, even nickel, copper, natural gas, coal. There's so many resources in America under the ground that we don't even hardly tap into, because most of the time the state governments try to keep mineral rights. So if you can, always try to get mineral rights. You're working for the FBI? No, you're not, Daniel B. You never be working there. It was a big ETH convention. Only high rollers were invited. It was held in the tombs of a cemetery. Yeah, I didn't hear about that. I mean, rich people do weird things. You know, when you get to such a wealthy point, I guess you get bored, and you just like, I don't know. I don't know what happens. But a lot of times, the people who are rich who are doing crazy things, it's usually, I don't know. People are people. Everybody's different. You know, some people get money, they go crazy. Some people get money and they still look like a hobo. I'm more in that camp. Like, I go to the store and I look like a hobo. I don't care. I don't buy clothes that much. Because if I buy clothes, it's going to be on sale, or it's going to be at Goodwill or something like that. Because you can find plenty of new brand name clothes at Goodwill with the tags on it. Still never been worn, but I'm not putting my garbage cash into garbage clothes. My garbage cash is going into not garbage assets. This shirt doesn't make me any money. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a shirt. Like, if you want to be the coolest and have the coolest brand names, have at it. I'd rather be dressed in. I'd rather be wearing nothing but a dirty pair of boxers and draped in all my jewelry than be in some Gucci outfit. Like, that's just me. And you like that? Do it. Hey, nothing wrong with it. You want to spend your money on that? Have at it. But anyway, let's see. You've got the mining rights for your property up north, Michigan. But I don't know too much about Michigan's land resources. I know you're close to Wisconsin, so Wisconsin does have gold and silver that it's probably the same thing in Michigan, from where in Canada, the mountains, the snow melts and all of that, it pushes all that sediment of the mountains down and it flows into the rivers into Wisconsin and the Great Lakes in Michigan. So there's not like a whole bunch of big ore areas that I know of like you would see in Las Vegas or something, but there is gold and silver that you can pan out of the streams. Or if you can find an actual ore vein, they could be there. I just don't know. But I would say Michigan's about the same way because we got those Great Lakes. You probably get a lot of gold, silver panning up in North Michigan. Let's see. Only have a 25-year-old pauper camp. Well, that's all you need, man. You got it for the land, so you could go up north and enjoy and relax and all that stuff. So you don't need a whole big mansion on it. The best gold mine is in your mind. It was a 4-mile walk underground in knee-high mud for that crypto. See what I was talking about? Rich people do stupid stuff. They probably was wearing fancy Gucci and all of that, and they had to walk through 4 miles in knee-high mud. Yeah, there's like a I haven't figured it out, but there's like a percentage. There's like a point where you get rich and then your brain just goes completely stupid. I don't know what the number is, but I'm going to try to figure it out. And then when I get close to it, I'm just going to start not making money at that point. I'm just going to level off, and any money I make over will just go into everything, whatever. I'll donate it, whatever. But whatever that stupid line is, I want to avoid that. Models like people, don't know what you're talking about there. Not a bad idea. You know, for a long time, pre-builts have been pretty garbage, and from housing loan standards, usually pre-builts are a little harder on the financing because you can't get FHA and some of the, the government things. The Nasdaq is trying to hold right now. It's trying to hold up there. Let's see if since it's holding, if SIGA. Oh, yep, SIGA breaking up out of that triangle. So we saw that slowdown, yep, and GovX testing right now at 225. We saw that slowdown in these stocks that were ripping green on the day, slowing down while the NQ was pulling back. Now that the NQ has bounced a little bit, they're starting to rip. You can see where that indecision was on the NQ, where people over this last time period while I've been talking, this last hour, they were like, nah, we ain't going to touch anything. A lot of indecision on the few green stocks on the day. And then as soon as the Nasdaq starts pushing back up, you see the indecision has ended, and they are starting to push again. Let's see if it's the same case on PIK. It's still kind of double topping. Looking like that head and shoulders, but good Lord, PGIY hasn't slowed down a bit. Look at this run. What a call out, Lori. Fantastic call out. This thing has ran all the way up to 20. A $10 run in only 4 hours. Beautiful. And look at that. Look at that. Increasing volume instead of decreasing volume. Green buying volume bars coming in. That's what you want to see. But again, the entry would have been back here on this double bottom on this candle. Now, I would say that $20 is going to hold as some strong resistance. $20 is one of those whole number areas, one of the real tough ones. But this thing is, I mean, it's going ballistic. It could, here in a minute, if it keeps pushing. Yeah, there's about a 10-cent spread. It may get halted up in a second. Let's see. Let me go into a 15-minute chart. This looks like it's about to pop more. Yeah, 1950 testing right now. Need to see the bids over 1950. The bids are still at 1937. So we got that nice spread. How do we... There's so much volume on this. Because this is not a full float stock. There's so much volume that it is causing... Ooh, on this chart, though, that looks like a problem. Yeah, okay, so that candle just closed. Starting to get a little double top here. Previous candle top at 1950. We just saw where it got rejected at 1950. And now this candle's starting to turn red. We could pull all the way back down to 14, where the 10-day moving average is. A lot of room to pull back here if it cannot continue to push. What time is it? Oh, boy. This is one stock. If you look at the overall market, most of the stocks are correlating with the Nasdaq. I mean, I don't understand the argument that's been going on that Nasdaq stocks listed on the Nasdaq are not affected by the Nasdaq. Let me say it again and let me say it slower. This is your argument. Stocks listed on the Nasdaq are not affected by the Nasdaq. That is where you're coming from, One Life. If I need to say it slower again so it really resonates in your head what you're trying to argue for, I will say it even slower. Most of the whole entire stock market is red. They are going to be outliers. There is no 100% probabilities in anything. So yes, there are some runs happening today. On a total of 5 stocks out of the 20,000 stocks that are listed on the Nasdaq. Like, this is not speculation. This is not my opinion. They are Nasdaq listed stocks. They are exchanged on the Nasdaq. Whatever happens on the Nasdaq is going to affect the stocks that are listed on the Nasdaq. It's not speculation. You can see this clear as day right now. So if you want to argue that 1 or 2 stocks out of the 25,000 is moving up, and that is your whole basis behind the idea that stocks do not follow the NQ, well, I have 24,999 reasons why you're wrong. And you have 1 reason of why you're right. So just off of the probabilities, this debate you don't even want to have. Your probability of even having a chance in this debate is 1 out of 24,999. So that's how wrong you are by probability standards. I've broke you down by probability standards now at this point. So if you got anything to say about that, go ahead and say it. Let me know. That's not what I said. I didn't say I'm trading anything. I told everybody at the beginning of the stream I'm not taking a trade over these next 2 days. So again, we'll leave it there. Like I said, you've been broken down to probabilities at this point. You are coming out of opinion. I am coming out of fact. The fact of the matter is, Stocks listed on the Nasdaq. Actually, you know what? Here. Let's go into a lesson on this really quick, and then I'm going to call it a day. That's not what I needed. Let me get my whiteboard up. Maybe if I do this visually and simply, this will be as clear as possible. So there's no confusion or any reason for anybody to debate on this, because this is such a dumb argument. Like, I'm so sick of hearing this argument. It makes no sense. So, here's the NQ. This is at the top. This is the whole entire stock market. Every stock that's listed on the NQ. Let's see. Let's do Facebook. Let's do SIGA. Let's just put in a bunch of random ones. I don't even care. 24,000 of these stocks. They are not above the NQ. The NQ includes these stocks. Every single stock listed in the Nasdaq is included in the Nasdaq. Here, I'll draw you an arrow so you see the right shape. Let me get you an arrow going here so you understand this clear. They go this way, right? They are listed in the NQ. So if the overall exchange that these stocks are listed on is going down, what in your mind would think that 5 stocks going up, just 5 against the 25,000 other stocks, what in your mind makes you think that this makes sense? That stocks do not follow the NQ. What in your mind is telling you that? That this right here, this is your debate against what I'm saying. The facts, the statistics. This is the statistics. This is how the NQ works. This is not speculation. These are Nasdaq listed stocks. Right? So I've drawn it out perfectly in very simple terms. And if you cannot retort why this makes sense and all of this doesn't make sense, then you are completely out of your mind. And that's it for my whiteboard lesson today. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a day. Hopefully you guys got some good information today, some good value out of this stream. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button. I really appreciate it, as we are trying to build this community as big as we can get it. Power in numbers, which we are going to need power in numbers with all of the chaos that is happening out there in the world right now. If you haven't yet, go check out frameworkfortune.com. You can find the Discord, all the different YouTube channels in the Framework Fortune Media Network. Stonks and Chomps Gaming, Reliable Rudy, HH Trader, God King Odinson is Justin, is also Crypto Quarry Mining. He's putting a small break on Crypto Quarry Mining because he's not doing very much mining. Instead, he has started a Twitch, and now he is into blockchain gaming. So we have everything from stock market to blockchain gaming, everything covered. Come join us in the Discord. Go check out the DLA-DAO.org if you're interested in P2E, play to earn, NFT blockchain gaming. God, jeez, I forget anything else? We're getting so big. Shoo. I don't think I forgot anybody. We may have a new member also coming soon. I got a meeting later with, but we'll see. But anyway, you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there. Appreciate everybody joining me as always. Till next time.